Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We're getting ready for Game 3 between 100 Thieves Academy and Evil Geniuses Prodigies, but I have a little bit of a complaint. When Riot hired us to get on for this broadcast, we were promised 5 games. But the way that the games are playing out right now, it might just be a 3-0 from 100 Thieves Academy. So Evil Geniuses Prodigies, I know you guys, your back's against the wall, but I want to see something new, man. There's got to be something, because 100 Thieves Academy cannot just continuously getting away with this, Will.
I don't know, Mark. It's like watching two people play a fighting game. They're picking the same characters. 100 Thieves, they're just playing 20% better. I think at this point, EG Prodigies need to go for a character swap. They need to change something up, because this game was the biggest neck-and-neck thing I've ever seen. Kenby, of course, just winning on some smites. EG Prodigies, you can see that EG Prodigies know what they want to do, but they just don't know what the next option is going to be after they complete that decision. Where you look at 100 Thieves, they know the exact option of what happens once that flowchart comes through, and it's just working out for them, man.
That's true, and I got to give a little bit of credit towards EGP, because this game was dramatically closer relative to Game 1, and I'm kind of liking to see where this direction of the series is going for EGP, because even if they do lose Game 3, just because of this Game 2, I think that they might be able to exit just with their heads held high, just because of how close it was throughout this game, and I was not anticipating for them to be so competitive this series, to be fair.
And I want to clarify, me coming in a little hot, giving Prodigies a little bit of a hard time, because I know these guys are super talented. These kids are so amazing at being able to play on the Rift. And it's just, coming to a point in this matchup where, like we pointed at the beginning of the day before this match even begun, is that these two playstyles are very similar, and it just happens to be that 100 Thieves Academy have had more experience, they've had more time to become a more cohesive unit, and Evil Geniuses Prodigies, they're finally meeting their match, and this is where the time has come to see if they can rise to the occasion and overcome this obstacle. Otherwise, 100 Thieves Academy are more than ready and more than poised to take this match here, Prussian.
That's true. Throughout the early game, I was a little bit worried, because I thought we were going to see more of the same from EGP and 100 Academy. So even though Aspect actually got the center this time, the Victor was still capable of getting priority throughout the early game, and Kenby took away Tomio's first red buff. And after that, I was like, oh, poor Tomio, man. Like, it's just going to be more of the same. We're just going to get Aspect being shoved under his tower over and over again, and Tomio's going to lose out his entire jungle. But EG Prodigies did a really good job striking back at 100 Academy. They did a good job trading around the map, and there was even an incident on the top side where they sent Misstep. Even though Kenby was shadowing for the counter gank, because it was a really obvious support roam timer, they got overwhelmed really quickly by the 3-man gank onto the top lane, and that gave Surdy a really big advantage in the early game. But unfortunately, at the first dragon, I think that EG Prodigies didn't do a really good job at playing around the side of the map that they were strong on. They turned towards the bottom side, and they tried to go for that dragon, and Poom just got an insane realm gauge onto the EGP core and just completely shattered them. And at that point, 100 Academy got back in control of the driver's seat, and they sort of ran away with the game.
I like to
Will, you were...
Oh, yeah. Sorry, Mark. Go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good, man. I was about to set you up. Don't worry, man. I was about to say, Will, you were mentioning before we got back on air that, when Evil Geniuses Prodigies, they had that window, they were able to turn around the 3-man 2 gank that Kenby was supposedly waiting to set up as a counter for, but, whether they got a little overconfident on them being able to take that 2-on-3, Surdy got a massive lead. But that's the difference between Evil Geniuses Prodigies in this series versus 100 Thieves Academy. When Evil Geniuses Prodigies find that lead, they're able to translate it, right? Or they're not 100 Thieves Academy, they're able to translate that lead. Evil Geniuses Prodigies are struggling in that area.
And that just kind of goes back to what I'm saying, man. 100 Thieves just kind of know what they want to do once they complete their mission. And that's where we look at EG Prodigies. They complete their missions. They know what the first, second, third steps are. They just don't know what the fourth, fifth steps, sixth steps, everything else onwards comes after that. And that's where we see these kind of two playstyles clash back and forth, and that's where those small little things kind of change everything else up. And we take a look at the top side. You mentioned Surdy, getting a lead but not being able to push it. That's where Tenacity, of course, having that backup. That, as you said, it just looks like 100 Thieves know when the offensive options are going to be coming through from EG Prodigies, And then when they do, they recognize that, yo, we have a solid counterattack. Whereas we look at EG Prodigies, it looks like they're just not ready for the offensive plays of 100 Thieves, or they're not ready for the defensive plays when 100 Thieves are ready to tackle back. And that's why Josh and I were talking, like, they don't want to blow any summer spells or force summer spells because anything can just result in a fight. And we saw that happen.
And Prussian, I think you wanted to jump in. Looking at this draft again, I know you were a little disappointed, with how much of the draft had been kind of replicating the first game draft. Shiro going back to the Samira in the second round of the ban phase. But, if this Samira is coming through for Evil Genius's Prodigies, if that is the strategy, if this is going to be the center of the composition, then Evil Genius's Prodigies need to execute better on being able to actually play around and empowering this Samira, because otherwise this pick doesn't seem to be working out well for them.
That's true. I'm not a big fan of the Samira. If you're blue side, you're opting into playing the Hecarim versus Udyr anyway, I would rather blue on the Kai'Sa, to be honest. I mean, your 80 carries DN Kai'Sa, right? So go for the Kai'Sa, go for it.
And just take it away from Luger. We've seen him already, quietly, even though he's not the main receiver of a lot of the resources. This game was really a double bear differential in the top and the jungle role. And the Berenstein brothers, Berenstein pairs duo coming in through for this Volibear and this Udyr pick. I know we were a little questioning on the Volibear when it was locked in. I know, Prussian, you said that, honestly, you could pick something like a Malphite to fit in, but Tenacity went off on the game. He looked amazing on it. He was eliminating Shiro from every single fight that he interacted in. And for the rest of the game, Shiro on the Samira, if this is going to be the centerpiece of the composition, and the centerpiece is already gone from each fight, then you're kind of running out of options on where you can actually fall back to in terms of being able to find a way back into the game.
And that's where we look at EG Prodigies, and I kind of wonder what else they have in their playbook, I don't want to go back to Prussian saying, Shiro always doubling down on the Samira, this Samira. I gotta agree with you. I'm still not a big fan. I think you got to either wait or just wait to see what the compositions are. But EG Prodigies, it's like dang if you do, dang if you don't. But for me, it's also like, that's cool if you want to run the same composition, because it means that you still have some fight in you. Or do you want to pull out some tricks and see if you can save this game 3? It's such a weird position that I'm in, because I'm down for either, but then we just need to see that execution come through, man.
And, Will, before we let you go, as we are going to get ready to toss it over to the third draft of the series here, potentially the last one, if 100 Thieves Academy are able to walk away and 3-0 Evil Genius's Prodigies today, if you were in charge, if you were able to just sit in the coaching booth, I know because you have had some coaching experience yourself, if Evil EGP are blue side again, do you follow alongside of what Prussian was suggesting? Just if Hecarim and Udyr are both open, go for the Kai'Sa first on the rotation and then set and build a composition from there? Or do you have something else in your mind?
100% I agree with Prussian, man. If Kai'Sa, both these 80 carries love Kai'Sa. We take a look at their most picked outside of Samira, like Shiro's most picked is Kai'Sa. Why not pick that Kai'Sa for yourself? The biggest thing, though, that I would say for EGP, outside of just changing some small little tweaks, I would actually just kind of stay with the same game plan. It's probably the biggest thing that what EG Prodigies has. Maybe just some of these champions just don't operate when being properly set up. And if you just change some of these little tweaks, maybe it works out. And then from there, just trust the players to perform and out-execute the opponent. Because outside of this mirror being picked up, everything else is just coming down to execution. And I think this game is showing that.
All right. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to join us before the third game. Go ahead, give Joshi some love, and a little fist bump for us from here on the analyst desk, as we'll be throwing it to you once game 3 starts up. But hell yeah, let's go.
There you go.
When the twin powers activate, baby.
Yeah, there you
go. All right. Well, bye, Will. We'll see you in a bit. Now, Prussian, you and I, man, we're going to be getting into this draft phase in just a couple of moments. You and Will echoing the same thoughts, change it up. Focus and prioritize that Kai'Sa for the first pick, knowing that, hey, they can only pick one or the other, Udyr or Hecarim, right? So you're guaranteed to get the other. It doesn't really seem like the Hecarim priority over the Udyr has really been netting you any advantages in the early game, despite the early lead that we saw, because they weren't able to translate it, right? And so once again, the ban phase has begun. So far, nothing new from either team.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it seems like a broken clock, no? I mean, I'm expecting the Nard ban.
Oh,
Udyr ban.
Let's
That's a new one.
go. Some changes. All right.
So I think 100 Academy will likely have to ban the Hecarim.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe they're just going to let it go through. Because Kenvi is a jungler known for having these counter picks available to him. Like, I haven't seen anything specifically into the Hecarim so far, but okay, there it is.
Thresh is open, by the way.
Thresh is open, Kai'Sa's open, and both these champions are pretty crazy. I'd rather see the Kai'Sa, to be honest.
Okay, okay. Wow.
Blue 1 Renekton.
Surdy's saying, you know what, Tenacity, you're not going to get the Crocodile. I want to lock down the early priority in this top lane matchup.
I don't think this is good.
Oh, man. Okay.
Kai'Sa, I mean... And then Lilia, yeah. So I don't know if Tomio is even going to play into the Lilia because he doesn't have like the Kayn. He doesn't have the Nocturne. I think he might pull out the Nocturne. I feel like that's a more Tomio pick.
Sure. And
maybe he'll pull out the Rengar. Okay.
Well, the Nidalee. Okay. So all right. So
Renekton Nidalee.
Yep, Renekton Nidalee. Now, something that we were talking about before the top of the match and just our preparation for the day, we were talking about the overall scope of Proving Grounds teams across the board. Nidalee and Renekton, there's not many teams overall in this tournament that I've played that can play these high-tempo strategies such as the Renekton and the Nidalee, because you need to be on the ball, very active early on, being able to set up the level 3 wave that allows you to dive and being able to get the stun down and being able to unlock Surdy and Tomio on the map. Something that really only NoWard has been consistently good at, and in cases on 100 Thieves Academy as well, because we know Kenvi and Tenacity have run this back when they were on 100 Thieves Next.
That's true. And if you want to talk about LPL aggression, I mean, this EGP team has it in droves, right?
There
I mean,
it
you have
is.
the Renekton Nidalee, so I'm curious to see what Tenacity is going to use to answer it. We have Dan Kai'Sa on the Kai'Sa, Shiro's Kai'Sa, absolutely great pickup. And I want to see, is this going to be a Tristana mid lane or a Tristana bottom lane? I feel like it's going to be a Tristana bottom lane, certainly. Orianna is available on the R4 for 100 Academy, so I'm curious to see if EGP will ban it or just handshake the Orianna versus Victor matchup that we're used to. Either way, I mean, maybe Demonte would like to go with a physical damage mid laner here in order to get easy priority for the Lilia, but I'm not certain. What do you make of this, Mark?
Well, you're the analyst. I'm coming to you for the questions, but still, I will say the only insight that I can give you as just a jungle main is that this Nidalee Lilia matchup is very volatile in the fact that Nidalee has a lot of lethality on the Lilia early on, but you need to be able to get that snowball rolling, because if you don't do anything early on as Nidalee, Lilia just outpaces you in the jungle, and then the utility she provides is just far greater than what Nidalee can bring, because, I mean, all you got are spears that can be negated by investment into some magic resist, as well as some heals that are, like, nowhere even near, like, that amazing. It's not like you're getting, like, Soraka level heals. It's just like, all right, cool, attack speed buff. And so for 100 Thieves Academy, I feel like all they have to do, which you've mentioned before, is that they have to play the scaling game. If they're able to get Tenacity onto something that is safe, which EG Prodigy is already identifying with that Scion ban in the top lane, then Tenacity can negate any of that dive pressure that EG Prodigies are going to try to be able to do within the early game.
Yeah, and this R4 is kind of a tumultuous pick for 100 Academy, because they're stuck either having a double magic damage mid-jungle 2v2.
Gragas is great here.
Yeah. Gragas is pretty safe from a lot of these dives. The sustain's really good. Yeah, it's pretty safe wave clear. I'm wondering, it has to be a physical damage mid laner coming from Demonte then, or else you're stuck with a 3 magic damage topside, which is absolutely criminal in my mind.
Yeah.
Maybe the Tristana is going mid then. But at that point, I'm not sure who would be going bottom lane. Maybe even something like a Sivir would be pretty good here. Leona Lukton, really good pairing with the Kaisa. It's really good with the top side too.
Also,
really good setup. Yep, exactly. Insane roam setup.
I think
and
I would say it's fine if EGP locked in something that is magic damage for Aspect, because you already have the physical solo laner, and you're probably not focusing mid lane. You're probably going to focus top lane. So I wouldn't be surprised if you pick something that is roam centric. Or you know what, Aspect is going to throw down the gauntlet.
I like this.
He heard us talking mad about his performance in the series, saying, you know what, screw the control mages. I'm playing the Jace today, baby.
I like this because even if 100 Academy send the Tristana into the middle lane, Jace actually has a really good time into the Tristana. If he takes exhaust anytime that the Tristana jumps in, he's going to. It doesn't even matter because it's going to be the Lucian. Now this is absolutely crazy.
This is a spicy mid lane matchup.
From the middle lane perspective, I'm not saying this with absolute certainty, but I'm pretty sure for the early levels, Lucian should be able to get priority for the early game. And that will give Kenvi a pretty easy time. Plus, you have the jungle mid ult synergy with a Lucian ult, not waking up people from Lilia sleep.
Yeah.
So, is that a Renekton middle lane?
Yeah. So that didn't even cross my mind that that they could have flexed it around, but it looks like Aspect is actually going to be taking the Renekton into the mid lane. So this makes. So this is my question to you, Prussian. Does this make dives harder because Jace does not have hard CC to set up in Nidalee Spears, right? But you can poke Tenacity out from far range, so maybe that is the angle that they're going for.
I am going to go on a limb here, Rafa, and I'm going to... I really don't want to see EGP do this, but I think that this Nidalee might be focusing bottom side.
Okay. I mean, you have the Leona, right?
There's just an inkling here, exactly, because I don't think that Nidalee is going to have a very easy time diving the solution. So I think that they might just be trying to Zerg rush 100 Academy's bottom lane. Granted, I mean, Tristana and Alistair, that's not like an easy dive, but if you're capable of just sending 4 people into that lane, it doesn't really matter what you have, right? You're just pretty much going to die. So I'm really interested to see what angle of attack EGP choose with this Nidalee.
Yeah.
Because they have options, to say the least.
Yeah, they have options, but even with the Renekton lane, it's not the easiest thing in the world to dive a slippery champion like Lucian, but the Game 3 is ready. So Chilling Walk and Joshi, take it away, gentlemen, for the call.
This is crazy. It's somewhere around. I could probably find it. It's still not going to be as spicy as this game at this point, Walk, because it's just like everything is coming through. And I know some of you guys in Twitch chat were like, oh, I wonder if this Renekton's mid. I had that thought in the back of my head as well, as to whether or not you could do this, because you could. You could have swapped this Renekton top lane, this Jace could have played mid, but the big thing about all of this is it's going to be really, really tough for EGP to make these dives work, and crucially, they have to make them work. Yeah, okay. Oh, he spots them. Yeah. Alright. So, yeah, this is kind of interesting, right? There's a lot of tech in terms of like early pathing in the jungle that has kind of disappeared in terms of what you're actually going to be doing in the jungle, where you can start with raptors, you can have your bottom lane hit the red buff while you do the raptors. There's a lot of different ways to play around this, and this is just one of many that we saw that has kind of disappeared. It puts Aspect a little bit behind, but he was never going to be finding a pretty large lead in terms of the early couple levels against Amante anyway.
Yeah, honestly, just curious to see what they can do. I'm kind of liking this low tech, though, because usually we do see Lilia start Raptors for full clear, but instead Kenvi's just going to be starting the red for himself and then looking to loop back down the bottom side. I am curious, though, because Prussian had a little sniff that told me it's going to be going to the bottom side and putting attention there. Well, I'm actually curious to see where Tommy wants to go for now, because he could go for mid, for Renekton Nidalee, of course. He could go for bottom. Honestly, I could see him going top lane, too.
Yeah, I mean, the other way, right, like Leona's might be your best setup for the Nidalee, but that doesn't mean you have to go to the Leona, right? The Leona can go to the Nidalee. There are options available to EGP. They can play the map, but the big thing that I think has been kind of a consistent pattern so far in this series is the fact that EGP, they want to make proactive plays, they need to make proactive plays, and they haven't necessarily been having success with it. Tomio here in the mid lane, I don't think he got spotted. I don't see any pings coming out on the map, and this is still going to put him behind in tempo. Look how much faster Kenvi has been clearing.
It is one of the issues of Nidalee in this matchup that Nidalee unfortunately just can't clear as fast as the Hecarim, the Udyrs. Can't full clear before the first crab that spawns up. Well, I'll tell you though, we're going to see a little bit of a 2-on-2. Poom taking the worst Zen depending on how much this bomb's going to do. Yeah, Poom's going to be losing on that. They're both going to be eating some potions. So, see what happens.
Yeah, I also want to highlight a couple interesting things coming through. Luger opting to go with the exhaust once again this game, and he did this last game, and it's been the thing where he's been able to do it in order to reduce a lot of the burst coming through. And when you look at a team composition like EGP, where heal might be a little bit better later on in the game, just reducing the burst early on and preventing yourself from dying means that you're not going to need the heal as much later on. It's a similar way to where Graves picks up the ignite in some matchups in the jungle, just because he wants to be really aggressive and he needs the power now rather than the longer term power.
Right now, Josh, both supports just looking for some roams around the mid lane. I feel like EG Prodigies, they want to put some attention down here onto Demonte to make sure he gets taken down. But so far, Aspect...
I say both supports.
Yeah.
It's just bottom lane.
Oh, misses bottom lane now. He was around mid lane. You know, he was around the corner. Ooh! Everybody's going to land, but a good buffer from Luger to hop away. And still, whole team's still chopping wood at the meantime.
Yeah. It's interesting, like, leaving Tristana alone, Will, right?
Yeah.
Because Tristana, relatively safe. But
Relatively. Yeah.
part of the problem with Tristana is that she can't freeze.
That
right?
is the issue.
You can't hold the turret or the wave near your own turret. You have to push it back out due to the explosive shot, and you know, you end up putting yourself in dangerous spots.
They want to see if they can go on shield, but they don't know that Tomio's around the corner. Luger has to flash away. Luger does not have the rocket jump. Teleport's coming through, but the backup's coming in. Poom's going to be the one who gets taken out for first blood. But double TP's coming from 100 Thieves. Kenvi's around the corner too. Shear's going to follow Slave as Demonte takes him down. We take a look at the rest of the squad from EG Prodigies though. Backup has arrived. Small little focus coming back through. Aspect takes down Demonte, but he's really low. Can he make it out? Good pull! Actually, good body step from Nasty. Going to knock out the Alligator. Starting in enemy territory as he's trying to see if he can find a snipe, but unfortunately, Tenacity, bobbing and weaving, gets a double kill for himself.
Man, Will, I hate to be like so pessimistic about a game, but this is a game where EGP need to be ahead, and they gave over 2 extra kills with a team composition that's supposed to be a better skirmishing squad at this point in the game. They're late to the teleports. I don't know how it is that both of the members of 100 Thieves solo lanes get here first. I don't know how they're able to do this, but they're able to bring both members here. They get more people on site first, and it ends up meaning that by the time Surdy comes in, he has no mana. He has very little to actually do after the fight is going down, and it's not enough coming out from EGP, and this has just been the entire series.
Just that's what I've been saying, man. It just seems like 100 Thieves are just ready for the defense.
No.
Aspect wants to go on, but they don't recognize Poom's around the corner, man! This is what I've been talking about all day. 100 Thieves just recognize they got the download of what Prodigies wants to go for, and every time Prodigies are looking for something, 100 Thieves, they already see it from a mile away.
Yeah, 100 Thieves, like, they have a much better plan. They have a much better idea of what it is that EGP are going to be doing, and they're one step ahead yet again. Poom can be sitting right around the wall, exactly waiting for Tomio to show up, because they know, just as well as we do, that EGP are up against the ropes, and thank God that actually took down to go over to Kenvi, because that's one of those things that you just look at, and you just kind of be sad if it doesn't go exactly the way they plan it to.
Yeah, and Tomio needs to have some sort of action, Josh. Oh, I'm sweating, man. Like, we got EG Prodigies. They threw a lot of spicy picks, you know. But I'm definitely sweating for them. I feel like they're sweating too, because they understand what's at risk. You know, if they lose this game, that's pretty much it. No Civil War for the next sequel. Surdy, of course, has to burn his flash against Tenacity from the explosive cast too. More Reese's being burned left and right from Prodigies, and options are slowly falling away.
Yeah, It's worth noting, too, that every time you go for a trade up in this top lane as Jace against Gragas, you have to get a larger trade because Gragas has sustain. As Jace, you do not. He's already burned through all of his corrupting potion stacks. He doesn't have his teleport available. He just had to use his flash, and suddenly this lane that you're expecting to be picking with power doesn't have it and is now just vulnerable on the map. Can be already heading up.
They would definitely want to punish 30 as much as they can. And Kimmy did this in game 1, man. Every time that he wants to tackle the top side quadrant, Tenacity's already ready. Monte, of course, can easily move because he's playing Lucian. So, he's going to be looking to take the crab. EGP Prodigies are slowly moving up, but we'll have to see if they can sniff it out.
Yeah. And I also want to highlight in these situations, right, we look at EGP and it feels like only 8 minutes in, it might already be hopelessly lost. But this is how these kind of compositions play, right? This composition could very easily be 5-2 and instead be up 2,000 gold.
Yep.
It's why I look at a lot of these and I don't like playing them personally, because what happens now? You're 8 minutes in and you just say, hey, we have to be even more reckless than we were before. We have to be looking for even crazier plays than we did the first time in order to get back into it, and you feel like your back's up against the wall, and Surdy literally up against the wall.
Yeah, I mean, Surdy no flash, Tenacity, of course. Not going to go for the kill. Surdy's going to be looking to poke him out, but... Whoa, Explosive Cat comes in! Surdy! Oh! You know he's not going to make it to Rush Hour 3, Josh.
That guy's not going to be in Rush Hour 3, that's for sure. Surdy, unfortunately, going down in this lane, right? Like, you pick this,
yeah.
I think the idea was that they want to take it away as, like, this Renekton counter pick, because it does quite well into the Renekton, right? You're able to trade pretty effectively, you're able to be aggressive as the Jace. Unfortunately, you are now forced to play a Jace, right? Where if you can't support it, if you're going to instead be playing towards the bottom half of the map, you kind of get left in awkward spots where you can't take aggressive trades and become this vulnerability like we said previously. Boink.
Bop.
Bonk.
Twist.
Bop it.
Bop it. Josh, that's why I'm curious. Before we get to that, though, I'm going to take a little bit of a trade. Blade comes in.
Oh, Tomio's here.
Tomio wasn't here, but
can be.
Mista, unfortunately, doesn't have any more spells on the corner. They want to fight over this dragon. It's going to be the first one, as looks like they might be able to take it if they spot Poom backing off away. Pressure blowing a lot. They may have found Kenvi. That's going to be one target. That's definitely a person that they want to go for. Cougar wants the venison, hands it over to Shiro. That's the jungler being down. EGP Prodigy's finally fighting back.
Yeah, and this is the thing that 100 Thieves and EGP are both aware of, right? EGP have to go for these kind of plays. They have to give up a lot of this farm in order to actually try and find these skirmishes, to find some avenue back into the game. And 100 Thieves, you know, we've done a good job at praising them to respond to the way that EGP have been playing. They know that EGP need to make plays, but this time Kenvi thought he was safe, didn't respect the fact that so many members of EGP were standing around this dragon and could potentially punish him, and one of the few mistakes that they've made so far this game.
Oh, they want to go for Tenacity, but Aspect going to flash forward, burning Tenacities as well. So, Tenacity does get out of dodge. But, Josh, that's what I'm wondering if I'm looking at EGP and them picking this Renekton Nidalee when we mentioned earlier. You know, this is a composition, this is a duo that 100 Thieves have been notorious for playing and have been used to. That's what I'm wondering. Even though you did take this away, are you putting yourselves in a back foot because you are playing a duo in a composition that your opponent just knows from top down?
Yeah, that's a big part of it. Luger has no idea Shiro's in his bush.
Oh no. Okay, good. Bust shot to get him out. Shiro's going to come back in. And Luger actually picked up exhaust instead of the heal too. Shiro's going to flash forward. He does have the red buff, so that should be able to do it. Cashing 100 Thieves off guard is the name of the game for EGP Prodigies right now.
Yeah, and 100 Thieves can't be giving them those kind of plays. They can't be willing to take these risks. They just need to let their composition be better later on, and this is good. They're first to the move now, but do they catch Mist? No, they're just going to have to back away. But this is the kind of crazy gameplay. Expect farm numbers to be really low this game as EGP stand in weird bushes, get weird spots for wards, and just go for dives that you weren't previously expecting. And they found 2 of them. They're crawling back in, but the rope that they're using to try and pull themselves up still looks pretty frayed.
Real of this rope sometimes, Josh. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but we need to see what EGP can do. I think this is what you kind of have to do when you're looking at the Prodigy's team. You have to go for some high risk, high reward plays, throw in some wacky mix-ups to kind of swing it into the favor. But this is where it gets really tough, because sometimes if you do it too much, the enemy gets downloaded. They understand tendencies, and 100 Thieves, they've done this before in Game 1 and Game 2, where they recognize the options of EG Prodigies are going for. At this point, if I'm 100 Thieves, all I have to do is just open up your mind and see what EG Prodigies are seeing on their end.
Yeah, it feels like playing a carnival game. Right? Like, you go there, and you know it's rigged. You know that you don't have a lot of chances, but you got to pull up on these ropes anyway to see if you can find a way to get to the other side. And, you know, he's pulling it, the rope will twist over, you know, you'll suddenly be trying to crawl up upside down. And it looks weird. It's great content, right? You get great opportunities for these big plays, but EGP are not in a spot where they can easily do so. And they got to make, like, these weird dives. Like, this is so weird.
Yo, Shiro! My God, you kind of threw Pum out for a whirl, but Explosion Shot's going to come through. Good heal from Tomi to make sure that Shiro stays alive. Shiro, no, he's coming out for some vengeance. Josh, that was confidence.
Didn't believe.
He did. They didn't believe, man. My God.
This is the Shiro we want to see, right?
Shiro.
The Shiro who believes, I am going to outplay this guy. I'm going to make plays he doesn't expect. I'm going to find these kills, and that was fantastic. Now they need to do it somewhere else, too, because Kaisa going up against the world, I mean, Kaisa's one of the champions that can do it, but when you have this Jace who's 0-2, not going to be having a whole lot of prospects, your work isn't done yet. You still need to continue finding some of these crazy plays.
Oh, but Damonte is trying to see if he can gun down Shiro. One more shot will do it. That's a shutdown coming in. Shiro overstaying his welcome a little bit.
Right, but I find it hard to fault Shiro for this.
Right,
you know, yeah, you gotta get that extra wave. You gotta be greedy. You gotta try and make these plays, because if you just let yourself play standard, you're gonna be giving over too much. Damonte being in the right spot at the right time to punish it.
These defensive reads of 100 Thieves just coming in real good. I read it, recognizing this guy's gonna back off. He's probably gonna grief for this, you know. But Dragon is gonna be coming up on the board, Josh, real soon. 45 seconds left, and EGP, they have to, I feel like if I'm EGP, you have to kind of find a pick before this Dragon gets started up. It's good that they're on the second ritual right now, as that could be used as a way of just pressuring the map, or as a decoy being tossed in on some sort of side map, a side lane, but see what they can do. Uh-oh. Woo! Okay.
Whew. Alright, walks out. Okay.
Yeah.
But the big thing here is, right, like, notice the fact that they are giving up farm. Nobody's farming the bottom lane. Serdi, by the time he gets here, most of that wave will have disappeared. They need to give up a whole lot of resources in order to find different kinds of leads in the game. And you're starting to see that almost every position, except for bottom lane, because Luger's gone down a couple times up against Shiro, are starting to fall behind significantly in terms of just passive gold income that they're getting. And with Serdi being alone here, he has no turret, and you have to have an idea that there's going to be a lot of 100 Thieves members on this bottom half of the map. We'll see whether he's going to be playing greedily or if he's going to try and play a little bit further back.
Dragon is going to be going over to 100 Thieves as Serdi is going to walk away. Right now, they do have their sights on Tenacity on the top side.
Okay, good.
Third going to get used. TP's coming through. Spear's not going to land, but 4 members are coming up. He's actually going to try and catch Aspect. Ultimate's going to be used. Dominus being burned through. Tenacity in the middle of 4. He's a big boy. Speed and weight isn't going to change that, though.
Yeah, but this is it. This is the question that we always ask. Is 100 Thieves going to be able to get more on the rest of the map? EGP are impressing the hell out of me with their ability to actually find so many of these plays when we've been asking for it the entire series. But they're giving over the mid lane turret. They're giving over the bottom lane turret. Rift Herald is dead, so they can't get anything further. And when all is said and done, they pick up 2 turrets. They pick up a kill, but they're going to be giving 2 turrets right on back. 100 Thieves maintain about the same size lead that they've had for several minutes at this point.
Boldy seems looking for a lot of trades. Solar for the disc is used.
Okay.
Unfortunate that Shiro misses the Plasma Fission onto Luger, because I feel like he would have just gone right into trying to assassinate his opposing AD carry, but or else that's one of it's being blown from the EG Prodigy's team.
And you know what that was coming up from Mist? That was one hell of a bluff. He did not have backup.
No.
He did not have members around him to actually make that play work. Right? But he's just saying, you don't know that. You don't know where my other team members are. Did they back now? Yeah, this is the kind of thing that EGP are able to do, and if you can convince them that you're stronger, if you can convince them that you have people to back you up, you're able to get away with a lot of these plays. But still, 2,000 gold down, you're looking at this Tristana that's trying to scale up. You have this very strong Gragas, this very strong Lucian that you have to contend with, and EGP, we've said it. I sound like a broken record. Well, they got to keep doing this.
That's called conditioning, by the way, if you guys don't know. That's called conditioning. If you make them, if you force your opponent to kind of believe in something that you're consistently doing, that's when you throw that mix-up in. Because sometimes Mist can be throwing those solar flares left and right. It's like, oh, these guys aren't going to die eventually. But now this is where Mist wants to die, because now he has the backup. Luger almost gets incinerated by the Acathian Rain as we look at EGP, that conditioning helping him out as now they're looking to take down this middle outer turret.
Yeah, almost got a little bit unlucky. I don't think Mist was expecting Poom to be on the opposite side of the Zenith Blade there at the very end, but it ends up working out. They get themselves a turret, they get themselves a little more. Luger struggling right now as is Tristana, normally relatively safe, but still, you can burst it out with the redundant crowd control that Mist is bringing in. Less than 1,000 gold now separating the two teams after the turrets are traded. EGP right back on in this, and I just have to ask myself, where has this version of this team been for their whole series thus far?
Just needed some Carolina Reapers, Josh. That's all they needed, man. They need to throw some spice into the mixture, and right now they're kind of, everything's boiling, everything's sizzling. The question is, are they going to make this a good dish in this game 3? You know, are they going to be teasing us with this little appetizer that they're designing? Now we're going to get a full course meal to game 5. I'm starving now, Josh. I'm getting hungry.
You still got plenty of gameplay left to go. Don't worry about that, Will.
Yep.
But I want to bring up something that I haven't touched on. Now that the gold is relatively even, relatively speaking, EGP actually have a secondary way that they can play the game. They have Jace, Nidalee, and Kaisa. They can poke from so far away. If they can convince 100 Thieves to just line up in siege, and they can control the flank so that Tenacity and Poom can't find a way into the backline, they can start transitioning from this crazy style into a more controlled one that I tend to think of EGP as in the first place.
And that's where we met. That's why we put so much emphasis on the early game, because you need to have these limited options, these direct ways of playing if I'm EGP to open up these avenues. Because I know you mentioned about that poke composition, but Josh, they can also potentially 1-3-1. You know, you got Surdy, you got Aspect. Tomio can just hover around the side lanes. Shiro can hop in on the side lanes too, if you were to get ahead. That's where we look at these early game aggressions, early game kind of team compositions. Those options start becoming a lot better to play through if you get that early game lead.
Yeah, they can, right? If you have that early advantage, it's definitely a thing where we would like to see Jace be able to side lane up against Tenacity, but it's hard, right?
Game,
like Jace, this game is going to be very difficult. So I like the idea, but now I wonder how strong EGP are feeling. They see that they're up a kill, they see that the turrets are even, and the gold relatively even as well, but Surdy backing away, he's going to have to teleport, but I have to imagine he's got his Muramana completed on this back.
How much you feel yourselves, EGP? How much you want this dragon? Definitely want. Surdy definitely wants it. Teleport's coming through. I can stand off those, Josh.
Yeah. 100 Thieves want to force this issue. They don't want to just stand here and let Nidalee Spears and Shock Blast rain in, and boom.
Knock away. Tomio's going to go golden, sitting at 1.7. But are they going to pull the trigger? Tomio wants to go for a steal, but look at Kenby. He's going for a gigantic sleep. Everyone's going to go night-night right now, but look at Luger. He's on the back end. He gets taken down by Aspect. And look, we have to see where Shiro is going to be at. He's actually going to back away. Tenacity's going to hop over the wall and take him down. Both 80 carries are now gone. Only Tomio and Aspect can try and see if they can win this. Tomio, he wants this, but Tenacity, speed and weight's going to help him out as he going shuffles through. Actually going to burn down at the back end. Unfortunately, EGP is going to lose out on that dragon, and 100 Thieves, they're going to maintain themselves in that driver's seat.
Oh, man. I mean, that's what we were saying. EGP wanted to take it slow, but 100 Thieves do what they need to. They force the issue. They require a response from EGP, and this team doesn't create these strong battle lines. They need access to the backline, or they do not function, and we did not see them have an opportunity to do that. Once again, Will, 100 Thieves playing the position better than their opponents. They know what their win conditions every single time one of these dragons is spawning, and they are executing it over and over again.
Mad patience, by the way, on 100 Thieves squad on that dragon. It was sitting at 1.7. You know, Tomio was kind of caught between two members. You know, the wall and the rest of 100 Thieves of, you know, what the decision is going to be. EG Prodigies, they're here first. No, they're starting this? 22 minutes in, Josh? This is a
Bold.
Hail
Okay,
Mary.
I don't know if they know where Luger is, but teleport coming up from Tenacity. This is an opportunity for 100 Thieves to get this fight.
4K. No, he's not in the pit. 3K now.
Culling.
He can't get in the pits. 1K. Finish comes through. Explosive Cap comes up, but there's a
so
lot
low.
more members in the pit right now. Everyone's going to attack with an Aspect, and Aspect's to walk away. Shiro has to get out of here, but he falls down. Tomio's now over the wall. EGP, they're trying to do their best 100 Thieves cosplay, but right now,
does it stop him?
they
It
stopped
stops him.
Aspects. Oh no. Good night, Alligator. Gives him a thumbs up.
Oh,
Demonte
Demonte?
takes him out with a triple kill. EG Prodigies, appreciate the effort, guys, but my God, what a Hail Mary.
Yo, is this a repeat of what we saw in Game 2? Again, four
Yeah, dude.
people for nothing end up dying in order to pick up the Baron, and yeah, you take it off the map, so 100 Thieves can't use that to siege against you, but you're giving over this huge gold lead, and they might take the last Baron off.
Oh, Sturdy's gonna go through, but he gets exhausted at the end. Gets stunned up too. Sturdy flashes forward. He's gonna take it through. Can he try and take down the count? Nah. Puma's gonna slam his hands down, knock him up, and that's all the Barons off of EG Prodigy's plate.
Yeah, was that worth it from Surdy? He gets
No.
the kill onto Luger, but Luger is 0-5,
He's all
and that's
five.
the last Baron buff. But they find Kenvi?
Why are we still fighting EG Prodigies? Kenvi walking away real fast. Plasma Fission's not gonna land.
Whew.
Holy cow, man. EG Prodigies, they want to make sure that they are not afraid of going down without a fight.
Well, this game was close. I was so excited for EGP. I thought we had another opportunity for them to potentially bring it back, but they go so low. I like the confidence, but the execution here, you gotta look to burn, and they do that. They get the burn, but you gotta scatter. You can't take this fight. Run for the hills, boys. But you're all trapping yourself in this pit. You don't get very many members out, and beautiful heads-up play coming out from Kenvi to lock down Aspect as one of the last members trying to exit this fight.
Man, it was tough too because you look at Sturdy and how he was playing that defense, preventing that Baron to come through. He only had two people to knock away. Do I knock away Kenvi so the smite doesn't come through, or do I knock away Tenacity so the explosive cast doesn't come in? You choose for Kenvi, and then the explosive cast comes and it knocks everyone else low. Romeo getting a nice spear. Stridebreaker comes in, biting him on the neck. He bleeds out and gets 1,000 gold for himself. Prodigy though, they want some more blood. I can see it. Bullfrog comes in.
Yeah, this flank.
Boom's gonna get stunned up, activates the ultimate to make sure he gets invulnerable and he gets that resistance, but many members are surrounding him, so Boom's gonna be falling as well. You know, EG Prodigies, man, they are still swinging. You want to swing some more, Tomio? Oh, he wants to swing some more. Hopping over the wall. Cougar versus Deer. Deer's gonna make it out. He's not gonna get the prey today, but they are gonna get this middle inner turret.
What is happening? There was a 4,000 gold lead for 100 Thieves like a
They're
minute
swinging,
ago.
man. They are swinging, Josh. Loving it.
And now, how do you deal with this? You got Jace, Nidalee, they do so much damage. Leona can set you up just to blow up a single target with all the poke. But, come on. One auto attack, please.
Ooh,
okay.
Okay. Explosive Cast gets used to push EG Prodigies away. Actually, you want to go for a punish, but not going to work. 20 seconds left on this dragon, Josh. I'm surprised they can't reset off this. If they do, they're going to give away Soul Point. That's a decision.
Yeah. Okay. This is good. They catch Demonte?
Oh, they reveal their position. They want to go on Poom. I'm not sure if this is the right target. Poom's going to flash on the wall. Aspect uses the Dominus. Sheer goes in with the Killer Instinct. They have found the cow, but they burned a lot of resources for this, Josh. And now we look at 100 Thieves. They're making their way towards this dragon.
Okay. I don't know if 100 Thieves actually want to hit this dragon. Like, they can
are.
DPS check it. Oh my god, they have so much DPS. Not even close, baby.
My god, 100 Thieves, they stealing a lot, man. Why you gotta live up to your name? They're always stealing these things, but EG Prodigies, they want to go for some more. Soulfred's gonna land right on top of Demonte, but he goes golden. Tenacity coming in back in to make sure his quarterback stays alive. Miss gets back in, but he gets tackled down at the wayside. 3-man sneak coming in for Kenvi. Hops over the wall. Now we see Sheer, he falls down. Only Tomio left, he's gonna go down too. Double kill comes out big, and we take a look at Sturdy. He's gonna get stuck between all members. EG Prodigies, you guys overextended, y'all gotta pay for that.
In a 4v5, 100 Thieves come out on top. They get the dragon. They get 4 kills, and they lose nobody in that sequence.
Man.
This is the difference that we've been looking for. This is the 100 Thieves we want to see consistently. And now as they run down Aspect, the only question is, what else do they get on the map?
Oh no, man. Yeah, definitely gonna get some farm in the mid lane as Aspect has been falling down on the wayside. Ping-ponged away. Like a little thumbs up aspect. He knows that, he's going to be losing up. Take some farm for himself, get some money. But you look at on Thieves, they're stalling this kill. They're stalling this death timer. My God. Aspect, he realized that he has to walk in the turret to make sure he actually respawns back in. This is a 45-second death timer, Josh. Aspect ain't going to be up anytime soon. He has to walk himself to the Baron, which coming up in the next minute.
Yeah, okay. Can be once again scaring me a little bit in that whole situation.
Yeah.
But, the 45 seconds on Aspect when he dies, like, the idea is neat, but you're not actually getting a whole lot for it, right?
Okay.
There is nowhere else for that Aspect needs to be, and unless you find a fight in the next 20 seconds, like, he is going to come back up. But just watch how this fight actually goes through and how difficult it is for EGP to take a lot of these team fights as they try and come through these chokes. Luger completely untouched, and he has not been having a good game. He has been struggling to get onto people, but now suddenly he's able to come alive. He's got his items. He's able to hit these people from so far away, and when there's no threat onto the back line, EGP's composition does not function.
Back right to where EGP is back, having their backs against the wall. They made some incredible moves 28 minutes in, and they swung it. They definitely gave 100 Thieves some black eyes, but at this point, EGP, they have to see if they can approach this Baron as 30 is on split push duty.
Yeah, see what he can do. Tenacity is still very strong. Got the Gargoyle Stone Plate. It's going to take a long time to kill him, and he can transition from like being this big damage dealer that he has been historically, or throughout most of this game on this Gragas, to actually just being impossible to kill. Damonte!
Oh, Gale forces away, gets stunned up, but there's no backup coming in. Boom, being a great bodyguard for Damonte so he can lay down the culling. Miss, trying to see if he can find something else, but that's a lot of resources being blown. They have to run away. 100 Thieves, they looking for that punish. They're going to punish Miss because he blew so many resources for that engage, and they're punishing some more. Aspect caught between 3 people. Shiro in a 1 versus 2 gets exhausted, gets blown up by 100 Thieves as they are looking to see if they can take some more lives as they are looking and hunting. 100 Thieves, they are opting for so many good punishes in this game. It's 30. You can't really hurt this big man. Can't really do anything. Cheeky little flash. Gets Tomio in. Tomio doesn't want to take the bite, man. And that's it.
Yeah, man. I mean, I just feel like we're seeing what happens when you have a game plan. EGP, they were in the mindset, we need to make plays, but that actually stopped being true at some point. And
Josh,
how do you turn that off?
This might be the end. Double AD carries hitting the Nexus. Only Miss here to defend. I don't know if he can stop this by himself, Josh. He's in the middle of 3.
Ridley's not here.
He's getting taken down. Tomio is nowhere near. Shiro's now back up. 1 versus 3 situation. Teleport's coming in. But Shiro, he can't walk up. He can't defend this. Aspect by himself. They go in. They take 2. Aspect goes golden on the base, but there's 4 members on 100 Thieves, and the death timers are so staggered from the Prodigy squad. Damonte's going to go in for a Hail Mary on the fountain, but that's going to be it. 100 Thieves. They're going to be taking this game to game 3, guys. And my God, 100 Thieves, they came out on top. And EG Prodigies, you guys put a good fight, but that was some damn good League of Legends, Josh.
Oh, yeah, it was such an interesting game of League of Legends, and I have to say, we knew going into this EGP 100 Thieves, a lot of similarities between the two teams, but at the end of the day, the team that we expected to do these things better just did them better over and over and over again. And 100 Thieves now going to have to go up against EGP's big brother in Evil Geniuses Academy, so they get a bit of a run back here coming up.
Civil War time. It's a good sequel after this dang movie, man. My God. Josh, I said that I wanted some more games. I'm actually kind of full after those 3, man. Holy cow. I got enough
Too
spice.
much MSG for you?
Enough MSG for me. I think I like the spice. I handled enough. But 100 Thieves, good job on these guys, and good job showing the discipline of what they carried from just a similar playstyles, as you mentioned. You know, we talk about these storylines. EG Prodigies, they're the ones who were in 100 Thieves' next shoes from the 3 players on Academy right now last year. And, you know, they definitely played a good game, but then that experience, that time that you guys have, it showed in the difference between both these two. And, you know, I'm impressed with that going in from both these guys, Josh.
Yeah, you got to look at how these guys are looking to play throughout the rest of the tournament because this was, top 6. They got plenty of other teams. Again, we're looking at Evil Geniuses Academy that they still have to play. Cloud9 Academy, No Org. These are some big names that they're going to have to prove themselves against. And if this is the version of 100 Thieves that we're going to be seeing for the rest of the tournament, suddenly I think these guys have a real shot at actually making it through to the finals. I
Get a rematch
can't,
too, Josh.
yeah, I can't praise them enough for how good they looked early on in the game and how well they were actually able to control so many of these games.
Josh, I'm excited to see what 100 Thieves can do in this rematch against Evil Geniuses Academy coming up next. But right now, Josh, we got a Verizon post-game interview with Demonte that I'm going to leave it to Mark and Prussian to deal with because I'm pretty sure they got a lot of words to ask, or Tanner Time himself.
It is Tanner time with Demonte, man. First of all, congratulations on the very swift and prompt 3-0 against Evil Geniuses Prodigies. First of all, I want to ask is, how did it feel to just run him down with the Lucian, man?
It felt pretty good. I think like the draft scenario that ended up playing out in game 3.
Oh, I'm not getting audio from Demonte.
Oh.
What's going
That's
on?
true. Yeah, me neither.
He can hear us, but we can't hear him. So we'll get a little bit of time here.
Yo, yo, yo.
Yay, there
got
it
him.
is. The man himself.
Nice.
All right. Say that again.
Can you ask me the question again? I forgot.
Yeah. And how did it feel to basically run them down with the Lucian in that game 3, man?
It felt pretty good. I think the draft scenario that ended up playing out in game 3 was something that I don't think we really expected because the first 2 games they were like basically the same draft, and then in game 3 we kind of thought they were going to just do the same draft again since they decided to do it in the first 2 games, but ended up being a lot different with the first pick Renekton especially, and then it ended up playing out where I could play Lucian, and that's just really fun to play Lucian and one of my better champs too, so it was a good time.
Yeah, Prussian, I know you wanted to ask Demonte about something related to game
so,
1, I believe.
Game 1, from a personal perspective, I'm not someone who really thinks of Syndra as a really strong champion right now. What prompted the Syndra pick into game 1, into the Orianna?
Yeah, so mid lane meta right now, it's kind of like Orianna and Victor, I would say, are like the god tier champions. Like everyone kind of wants these 2 champions whenever they can. And then what ended up happening in draft that time is that they 1-2-3'd, or no, I think they 1-2-3 Orianna, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
And then we didn't pick mid lane on the 1-2-3. So basically they got the chance to ban out some champs, and I think they banned out Victor. So basically from there I'm like going to be on like a B tier or like a tier 2 like champion no matter what I do, probably, unless I like counterpick them with something off meta.
Sure.
But Syndra, I think it works really well as a champion that can win you early game. I think it sets up ganks really well. You can force Prow with Syndra a lot, and even though I don't think it's considered as like the god tier like Orianna and Victor are, it's still like very playable in a lot of situations.
Absolutely.
That's fair.
Okay.
I have one other question, actually. So, coming into this lineup of relatively newer players like Tenacity, like Kenvi, like Boom, how do you see your role in this team? And what's your interactions with your teammates like?
I think like all of my teammates except Poom, I think are born in like 2003. So I'm like 6 years older than these guys. So it's pretty funny.
90s gang, let's go.
I'm definitely more like a leader for the team. I would say I kind of guide them throughout the game, like shot call for them, kind of point them in the direction they need to. And I mean, so far it's been an amazing time. I think right when I first joined, it was a little rough. I think my mental wasn't too good, but I feel like we're really on the up and up right now, and I think it's a great time to be at that spot too.
Yeah, I got a chance to see you come into that team when you guys were competing over at the Arena of the Legends tournament, and I know you weren't really finding your stride over there, but I think ever since then, the first game that you guys played, you guys have just been ramping up into Proving Grounds, and now that you're going to get into top 4, you're looking to take a rematch against EG Academy, who did send you guys to the lower bracket. What are you guys looking to do this time around that you guys didn't do in the match previous to?
I think we weren't really prepared when we played Evil Genius Academy last time. I think we kind of got rolled over by them by just stuff that we didn't know was strong, or we didn't know that we couldn't really verse, or we didn't have we didn't have a strategy prepared for what they played. But I think this time there's a lot more information going into the matches, and
Sure.
I think as long as our preparation is good, I really do think our team should be better than them. And I think it's going to be a close series. Don't get me wrong. I think like very, very high chance it goes like 4 or 5 games. So yeah, I think if we just focus on our preparation and come to play, it's going to be a really high match.
Absolutely. And then I have one more last question for you before we start wrapping up and sending you off here. You get to work with your boy Grayson, aka Golden Glue, as the coach, and he is someone who has had a lot of experience both in Academy and LCS as a mid laner. So, what is it like to have your main coach also be the person that specializes in your role?
Oh, that's cool. I mean, Grayson definitely, I would say he helps me like on the individual level more than everyone else. Because I mean, he was an LCS mid laner for a really long time too, right? So
Yeah.
it's nice to have like an extra pair of eyes just watching me and watching my lane phase. And it's also nice when he like, tells me I did something good, you know, because I mean, it's not like he knows what he's doing, you know. So he's like, yeah, pop off, bro. And I'm like, thank you.
Hell yeah. A fellow swole brother giving his other swole brother some love. Well, DeMonte, we've had a blast with you on the desk. Is there any other shout outs or anything else you would like to say before we let you go?
Yeah, shout out Poom Gang, and then that's it. Yeah.
All right. Hashtag Poom Gang. Thanks again, DeMonte. We'll see you again when you take on EG Academy. All right. Awesome stuff from DeMonte there. And Prussian. Honestly, when we came into this matchup, we definitely had predictions giving 100 Thieves Academy the edge over EGP, but we thought that it might have been a 3-1, EG Prodigies, and we have to give them a little bit of credit here. They absolutely came back with relentless aggression, being able to switch it up towards the Nidalee. And you called it, Prussian, when we saw the drafts play out, you weren't necessarily a fan of the Renekton mid going into the Lucian. So we actually saw a pivot of a lot of the focus from Tomio's Nidalee actually on that bot side of the map.
That's true. Just thinking about this series from a wider point of view, I'm a little bit disappointed from game one, but I'm happy to see EGP strike back games 2 and 3. And I thought that while game 1 was a complete smash, I thought this series overall was actually quite competitive. And especially this game, I thought we saw a lot of interesting development from EGP. We saw a little bit of that resourcefulness that DeMonte was describing before. And I'm looking forward to see EGP next split in the summer.
Yeah, well, unfortunately for EGP, their time has been stopped because 100 Thieves Academy just came out with amazing gameplay and tenacity, another player who was just consistently always above Surdy in each of these matchups. You had him being able to lead the charge on the picks like this Gragas in game 3, the Volibear in game 1, I believe, or game 2.
Game 2.
Yeah, game 2. And then even the Aatrox in game 1 as well. Being tenacity, we already mentioned before, has been someone that has been on the rise and has just been increasing in terms of prowess throughout the entire Proving Grounds tournament, and the rest of the 100 Thieves roster. We all also, giving props over to DeMonte, who coming into this roster late during the Arena of Legends tournament has also been ramping up. 100 Thieves Academy, I'm very, very excited to see as a top 4 contender. They do have to get through EG Academy this weekend. I believe on Friday is going to be that semifinal matchup. But then afterwards, if 100 Thieves Academy have what it takes to be able to get through EG Academy, then they have to take on probably their most difficult opponent, which is either the loser of No Org or Cloud9 Academy here, Prussian.
That's true, and you're getting a little bit ahead of me, but for 100 Academy versus EG Academy, I'm really looking forward to the DeMonte versus Jojo Pyun rematch.
Absolutely.
I think that's going to be extremely hype. Tenacity versus Tony Top, 2 top laners that are traditionally carry-based, and I think that's going to be completely explosive. And Mystiques versus Poom, 2 supports that excel in their own regards. I think Mystiques is really good in lane. I think Poom is also really good in lane. They're both really good at roaming. I mean, I think it's going to be a really exciting matchup. Oh, and Contracts versus Kenvi.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Like, on all cylinders, I mean, this matchup, I'm excited to see it again.
Dude, Kenvi versus El Contracto. Juan Garcia.
Contracto.
That's right. I mean, we talk about Kenvi being a 100 Thieves member, and he's always able to pull out the steals, hashtag the heist, but El Contracto is known also for being a thief himself, and, he's going to try to make up and avenge his fallen sister team in Evil Geniuses Prodigies on EG Academy. We'll have to see how it plays out. That matchup will be on the 23rd. But, ladies and gentlemen, we will be returning on the 22nd for the winners final matchup between Cloud9 Academy and No Org. It is going to be a banger of a series. And before we go tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I want to give a huge thank you to not only the entire production and crew, but also Riot Games and being able to work with us and bring an amazing light to the semi-professional community that does exist and shining and showing that we have talent here in NA, ladies and gentlemen. I know we like to meme about it, but we've got amazing players that just needed a spotlight. They needed some time in the sun to be shown here, and we're finally getting it this year. And I hope we continue working hand in hand with Riot, with the LCS orgs, being able to get these players into the organizations and the investments and the resources that they need so that they can flourish and we can create an ecosystem and an infrastructure so that we can have a sustainable player base for time and years to come here in North America. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we had a great time on the broadcast. Hope you enjoyed it as well. Have a good night.